All right, welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 322. Back on the topic of baseball, more specifically the Toronto Blue Jays again, making more money moves today. They have signed second baseman Marcus Semien to a 1-year, $18 million deal. This is big, and I'm going to be getting into what this means for the Blue Jays and whether or not this can put them on top of the AL East and possibly farther. But first, question of the day. Again, stick around to the end of the video, and the answer will be revealed. But today the question of the day is, who is the Blue Jays franchise home run leader? Again, answer revealed at the end of the video, so don't leave. But this is going to be big for the Blue Jays. Again, Marcus Semien going from Oakland to Toronto, 1 year, $18 million. Like I said, this is big. This is a guy that can hit 30-plus home runs. He showed that in 2019. He was actually third in MVP voting in 2019, which he kind of came out of nowhere when he hit, he hit 285 and 33 home runs in 2019. Definitely had a slow season in 2020, but that's a small sample, just 1 year, and I think this guy can be huge. But again, the Blue Jays have just really been taking advantage of players available. I mean, they've dealt over $180 million this offseason in new player acquisitions, which is more than any of the other 30 teams in the league. So the Blue Jays, I think, are really advancing their stock in that division, of course, including the Yankees and the Rays, who were both deep into the playoff teams last year. So I'm going to get into what this really means for the stock in the division. But, I mean, as far as him on the team, I think he fits really, really well on this team. I mean, like I said, in 2019, he was third in MVP voting. From his former players or former teammates, this guy, he works really, really hard, and he's just a great guy on the team. With him on that team, he works hard. He's in shape. He's only 30. He's not old. So this is a guy you can expect 150, 155, 160 games out of, and he's just going to be solid there. As far as the Blue Jays' projected lineup for 2021, I've got George Springer, who they recently acquired. If you haven't checked that video out, go ahead. That probably occurred about a week ago. So there's a good video there on Springer and what he means to this team. But I think this acquisition is comparable to that and how important it is to this team. But again, I got Springer leading off, Cavan Biggio in the 2-hole, Bichette, the shortstop phenom, in the 3-hole. 4 spot, I got Teoscar Hernandez. 5 spot, Vladdy Jr. 6, Lourdes Gurriel, of course, Yuli's younger brother, who, as I mentioned in the Springer video, not a breakout or not a fantastic player, but had a breakout postseason. Of course, the Jays only made it 2 games against Tampa Bay, the reigning AL champion, but he got like 8 hits in 2 games, and he's actually a rising star in Gurriel. And then I got Semien, the new guy, headed in the 7-hole. That's kind of the role he plays, second baseman, kind of lower in the lineup, but no doubt the 7 spot or any spot in the lineup is obviously important, but the guy can swing the bat for sure. And then I got Rowdy Tellez and Danny Jansen in the 8 and 9 hole. So this is a talented lineup, absolutely. I think the Blue Jays are not going to be missing anything at the plate. They really aren't. If you run into issues, it's going to be starting pitching-wise, and even more specifically in their bullpen. They don't really have any shutout pitchers in their bullpen, simple as that. But I think this guy's going to be a great addition. He's a plus defender for sure. So that brings an interesting point to what he's going to do in the infield. Of course, Cavan Biggio was their second baseman last year, but I think Semien's going to come in and play second base, push Cavan to third base, push Vladdy Jr. to first base, and just that right there, kind of the fact that, I mean, this isn't just my opinion. I think MLB, whatever, predictions are going to be that he plays second base, which kind of shifts around the infield, but that's part of why the Blue Jays are so good. They got a young infield, adaptable. Of course, Vladdy played a lot of third base. He's going to be going to first, I think. He played both last year, so he's got experience. And Cavan played second. He's going to be going to third. And Semien spent a lot of time during his career at shortstop, so he's got, of course, he's not going to take Bichette's job. He's the franchise shortstop. He's leader of that team. But he's going to have a great infield presence for sure, and like I said, plus defender. Not going to expect many errors out of him. In 2020, like I said, he had a regressing year last year, hit only 7 home runs and hit 223. But last year was, of course, it's only 1 year. You can't put too much stock in that, and it was just a weird season baseball-wise. So I'm not gonna really worry about that. Career, he's got 115 home runs, and he's got a career batting average of just shy of 260. And then like I said, in that 2019 season, he scored 123 times, hit 33 home runs, drove in 92, and hit 285. So that was the year he was in the talk for MVP, and I think absolutely deserved to be. Now, what's with the 1 year thing? This guy seems, of course, you acquire a guy like this, This is the best way to do it, in my opinion. Sign him 1 year. The risk is low. But, of course, this is a guy that I'm expecting to show out enough this year to get a longer contract with the Blue Jays and really settle in that way. But, of course, like I said, right now only 1 year, $18 million. So that's a lot about their infield. And, of course, the outfield held together with Springer, Teoscar Hernandez, and Randall Grichuk. I think in the field and at the plate, this team is looking very well put together. And I think they've put a lot of good money into building that for this coming season. Now, on the pitcher's mound, their ace in Ryu, he had a great year last year. He's on his coming off his third straight season of a sub 2.7 ERA. He was third in Cy Young voting last year and even received some votes for MVP, or a vote for MVP. Not that he was in the conversation, but it did happen. So he's going to hold that ace position down pretty well. He averaged almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings last season. So he's going to be a good one spot. But then you get deeper in the rotation. Nate Robinson I have as the 2 starter. Coming off of injuries last year, only threw 18 innings. So that's going to be a little sketchy for me. And then I got Robbie Ray in the 3 spot, Travis Bergen also in the rotation, and then rookie Thomas Hatch, who is very good but young. So I'm not sold on this Blue Jays pitching, and of course their bullpen is nothing to really look twice at. Now, pitching, of course, is a problem, but just the fact that they're in such a good division, I think the Yankees are the main issue in this division for them as far as winning it. Again, I mentioned this in the Springer video. As much as it hurts to say as a Rays fan, I think the Rays will be pretty much irrelevant next season, simply because the season they just put together to win the AL was just so picture perfect. I just don't know how they did it with all these young guys. And then, of course, you have a Rosarina who blew everybody away with his 30 whatever postseason hits. I don't see that happening again. They've already traded away Blake Snell. We've seen Glasnow struggle. Now, the Rays do have still one of the better bullpens in baseball, but they got managing issues with Kevin Cash and that decision to pull Blake Snell, whatever. I don't think the Rays are going to be relevant. So for me, this division really lies between the Yankees and the Blue Jays, and I think the Yankees have arguably, pretty sure they have a more talented lineup. This lineup that I'm looking at, the Blue Jays might have more potential with all these young guys, but they have a proven better lineup and certainly a proven better starting pitching rotation. They did just trade away Adam Ottavino, but that's not going to be that big of a deal. So I got the Yankees winning AL East, but I got the Blue Jays certainly going to be in the conversation and possibly going to be a wild card again this year, but put together more of a presence and possibly make a divisional, maybe a league championship appearance. But I'm going to say whoever they wind up facing in the wild card round, I'm going to say they advance past them, but don't get past the ALDS. So that's what I got in store for these Blue Jays. But I think this is huge. The fact that they've been putting so much effort and investing so much in their future and new players, I love for the Blue Jays, and I'm excited to see if they turn out well or turn out good this year. But again, just to recap, second baseman Marcus Semien headed from the A's to Toronto for 1 year, $18 million. I think this is big, and comment below if you think the same thing. But that's all for the video. And as far as the question of the day, your Blue Jays franchise home run leader is Carlos Delgado with 336 home runs in Blue Jays history. Thanks for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.